Hi, welcome to Video Games Revisited. Today we've got another viewer request. This one comes from PC Gamer 77 and he's asked for me to review Haunted House on the Atari 2600.
Released in 1982 by Atari, Haunted House is considered by many to be the first survival horror game. However, I believe this rather grand title is pushing it just a little bit. In this game you explore the abandoned 4th-floor mansion of Zachary Graves, and your aim is to put his urn back together and then get the hell out of Dodge. The reason for this being the house is infested with bats, tarantulas, and the ghost of Zachary Graves himself. As far as gameplay goes, as you can see, you navigate around the house as this little pair of eyes, avoiding monsters and finding little bits of the urn. To find bits of the urn you have to have a match lit, which can be done simply by pressing the fire button on the joystick. The match will burn for a certain amount of time before going out, unless you come across a monster in the meantime, in which case the lightning and the gust of wind will blow the match out. On the first difficulty setting, this is about as much as there is to the game. The other items, like the keys and the scepter, aren't really introduced, but these items help you greatly. The scepter wards off any enemies from attacking you, and the keys can open the locked doors that appear on the higher difficulties. However, you can only carry one item at a time, which is when strategy comes into play. You need to remember where you left bits of the urn and the scepter, and of course the keys to get further and further through the mansion. As you can see, this is quite a fun game, it's quite quirky, and on your first playthrough you'll want more, so you'll naturally pump up the difficulty. Now this is where the true horror, savage evil, and unrelenting cruelty of Haunted House comes into play, as the other 8 difficulty settings in this game take place in complete darkness. Now you may think I'm joking about this, but I'm really not. Every other difficulty setting you'll be wandering around in complete darkness, bumping into everything in the world, trying to work out which doors are locked, what's in front of you, where you left bits of the urn, and generally getting frustrated with yourself. Now if my glamorous description of these levels hasn't got the point home enough, it's just not fun. It's not fun wandering around in the dark. I really don't understand. The first level was okay, but it's too easy. You got it done straight away, and you want more. I don't understand why there isn't some kind of middle ground. You know, a gradual transition into this frustrating oddity, where maybe if you got the other 7 levels out the way, you could try the hardest difficulty setting just to see if you could blast through it, like a test of endurance for completionists. To make matters worse, you can't even see enemies when they're behind a door, so far too often you'll end up backtracking on yourself, finding the key that you left on the floor, getting back to this door, having it pop open, and then getting the little facehugger thing jump on you, making you lose a life. So as far as graphics go, when the lights are on and you can see anything, it's the more basic end of the Atari spectrum. It's like blacks and primary colours most of the time, but it's forgivable because it's quite an interesting premise, especially since this is one of the earliest games I've ever seen that's got like the ability to explore and have multiple floors on an area, and it's quite good really. But as soon as the lights go off, I'd rather be playing a text adventure. Technically the sound's irritating. You've got the constant little noise of your steps, and it never really stops because why would you want to stop moving? But this and the lightning effects when a monster appears, it's pretty good for an early horror game. But that's about all there is to see for Haunted House. I find it difficult to recommend this game because it's either too easy or too annoying for pretty much any group of people I can think of. But if you want to take a look for morbid curiosity, I won't think less of you. But until next time, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.